So, got the tank killer finally promoted. Should be, yeah, yeah. More damage. More damage, that's what we want. Or what I want. Zoe, work is awful. No guns or welding or anything, just measuring flour and waiting around. I will agree, work is pretty awful normally. Unless you have something that you like doing, but even then, I mean, I suppose in this case the kids prefer to work with guns and welding, but same difference, same difference. Let's see, work doesn't have to be awful, just gotta figure out what you love and do, and then do that, yeah. Zoe knows what she's talking about. But we love just fooling around and making tanks and being kids. Maybe you can just, maybe you can do that just a little while longer. Now that we're grown ups, we've decided to be kids, right? A lot of people wish they could be kids again after growing up, normally, is what I've heard. Let's see here, what am I? I'm looking at the resources to see if I can... Is that enough iron? Steel? I don't think it is. Armor factory. Where is it? Armor factory. Not enough steel. Let's see, how long is this gonna take? An hour? I'm gonna do that. Oh. Another building upgrading still? Where is... Hold on. Hold on. Oh, it's this one. Upgrade. It's too advanced. I really thought about it for a while, and I figured that I just needed more concrete. So I went with that. T2, like the steel mill the steel, the lumber, and the concrete are like some of the best things you could spin nanopods on. As far as they go, because they make it, they give you more of the resource for less cost, generally speaking. Let's see here, wheat. Materials acquired and set aside. Perkins, follow Floyd and help load all the stuff he's going to show you on some of the ships. We need to take it down to Pike. Don't eat all the cabbage. These cabbages are heavy. Reminds me of the cabbage vendor in the show Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's a pretty good show. Cabbage vendor is a reoccurring joke character in that. Let's see. Cut the boars. Alright, right. See, so I just need the armor shop at this point. Or, you can level up. Leveling up also works. But I didn't unlock any missions, so that's, see, Quinoa. Well, seeing as I'm going to be collecting the steel mill upgrade in an hour anyways, this is not such a bad idea. Give me, see, there we go, there we go. Alright. Attack the mammoths. I think the encounter is about the same level as usual. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I'll just do this. New and improved tank killer. 44 to 66. This thing, the only, like, this could be useful for farming maybe, but it's probably not. Probably wouldn't be. Either way, let's see. So the other day, I was what was I doing? I went up and had a 24th of July party, because I'm recording this video on the 25th of July, right? And so, 24th of July party, it was pretty fun. The whole family was there, and we actually went to like the let's see, one of the relatives' houses on like the far side of the family. Because they had like a cabin out in the middle of the mountains or something. It's a long drive, but it was pretty interesting once we got up there. Let's see. Turn on the resources. I want this on. I want that on maybe. And, yeah, that'll do the trick. Okay. Train one of those. So, mammoths are quite interesting, as they're pretty durable, but I would go so far as to say that they don't do quite as much damage as like some of the other critters. Mostly because, like with the raptors, you have the ones that attack the full row for like a low amount of damage. It doesn't really do much to the tanks, but at the same time, it still does a bit of damage. Let's see here. I'm gonna go demonstrate what I mean. Raptors. See, these dudes, they got the full row attack and the double range. Mammoths mostly only have one range, so the stuff on the second row can't attack. Other stuff on the first row. Oh, it's this setup, which means having only 4 units in a battle is a little bit rough. Kind of forces me to use the soldiers, since the soldiers are like the only ones that have the AoE capabilities, or at least the best AoE capabilities. Like, I could use the artillery, but the artillery does like 40 damage to the middle and like 5 damage to the side, whereas the soldier does quite clearly About 45 damage across the board. I might be getting sick, I don't know. Just gonna clear out every single raptor encounter before calling it good. Because I figure sometimes it's nice to have something different. I'll put one of these. Okay, what is going on here? There we go. Raptors are very good at dodging. Dodged half the attacks there. Whereas with the boars, tank killer would probably take out the 200 health boar in one shot. But since it's a raptor, it doesn't really take much damage. I mean, it still takes like a pretty decent amount of damage. Just not as much as you see from something that doesn't dodge. So, speaking about raptors, there was a new movie that came out, you know, Jurassic Park the 11th or something. Actually, no, I think it's like Jurassic World number 7 or something like that. Either way, it's like sequel number however many in the sequel series of the IP from however many years ago. Which, I mean, I get that people like the dinosaur movies, but at the same time, I just feel like they're, you know, beating the dead IP. You know, like, that'd be like if, back when King took over Battle Nations, they canceled it, right? But then, they came out with Battle Nations 2, and they canceled that after a year. They came out with Battle Nations 3, and kept coming out with, like, a new one every single year to, you know, wring as much money out of people as possible. It's just not, and that's the way it feels, to me at least, with the, most modern movies. Especially the sequel movies. I mean, not like people really come here for movie talk or whatever, but I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen the movie yet, so it might be way better than I'm expecting, but I'm also really not expecting very much of it, just because it's a sequel in general. And I feel like the whole thing they did where they decided that a T-Rex wasn't good enough for them anymore. I mean, the T-Rex and raptors. Because, like, T-Rex is, you know, a real dinosaur. But what they decided to do was pull out the, whatever it was called, the dinosaur that has a cloaking ability. And is apparently super duper smart and ultra plot devicey. I forget what it was even called, but, you know, it was just, you know, end all beat all, best of the best, number 2. and it just wasn't like appealing, like, because it's not a real dinosaur, at least to me. I mean, maybe some people only go for the spectacle, but I mean, I at least like if they try to be accurate to stuff that actually is real or something. I mean, maybe I'm alone in saying this, but that's kind of how I feel. Well, I guess, as I'm not quite done talking, there was the thing I heard about. So I heard at some point that people were working on, like there's always been people trying to bring back the mammoth, you know, air quotes. And I mean, I guess that's probably not as far off as some people as you might think, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know. I don't keep up too well with that. I did hear at some point in the however long ago it was, but they were trying to, or apparently some company, which I don't know the name of, had done some genetic process or something, you know, Jurassic Park-esque. But instead of the complete DNA of a frog with supposed dino DNA, it was complete DNA of a wolf, but some of the genes are changed to make it into a like a dire wolf or a timber wolf. I don't know which one of those it is, but you know, an ancient type of wolf has been extinct. Which I mean, I guess, you know, it's pretty interesting, I thought. I don't know exactly how valid it is, because I didn't look at the research or do any actual informed digging on the topic. But obviously I've heard or seen some talk of it on social media. Speaking of social media, I've never really been a fan of it, I guess. Like, I don't own like I don't have a Twitter account or a Facebook account or what other like the only social media I think I use is probably this YouTube, which doesn't technically count as social media maybe, except for the fact that it probably does. I don't really know. And then there's Discord. Like, those are the only two I use, and then because the rest of it just doesn't seem very appealing to me, at least. I don't really know exactly what people see in some stuff. Like, I mean, obviously some stuff must be super interesting or super useful in some way, shape, or form. But I just don't see it, so yeah. Let's see here. Time to talk about how these boars are going to somehow target the sandbag over the tanks rather often, it feels. There's been 4 attacks by the enemy thus far, and 3 of them have hit the sandbags. One of them was a dodged by the siege, I almost called that a siege tank, but the mini tank. Yes, I did just almost call it a siege tank because I'm quite a fan of a strategy game called StarCraft 2. Funny enough, I didn't actually play StarCraft 2 until long after Battle Nations had I don't know if it was long after, but I know I played Battle Nations before I played StarCraft 2. I think I played StarCraft 1 on like my dad's computer at some point when I was like, 3 or something. Well, I don't know if I was 3, but I was really young, and I don't remember how old I was. Now that is some RNG right there. 1 health. 1 singular point of health. Let's see here. So, let's see. I am now at a loss for what to talk about, which is something I often seem to find myself at, because I'm just not good at talking, I feel. I do not know. But these boars are almost gone. Meaning, we're getting close to the end of this. I just gotta focus the alpha boar first. Even more dodges. So, let's see, what do I got? Oh, yeah. So there was a poll, right? On, well, actually, no, I don't think that's relevant to this. Ignore that. Ignore what I was just saying, it doesn't really matter at this point. Anyways. Oh wow. Another one, huh? Sometimes the UI doesn't quite keep up with clicking. I don't know. It might not, or maybe I'm just slow. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see, tank killer, that. Soldiers, let's put that there, sandbag. And all the shots hit, the tank killer does insane. Alright. Yeah, I am definitely running out of ideas and or anything that I figure would be interesting to talk about. If anything at all like that. Alright, so how about this? What is people's favorite like unit in this game? Like, I know obviously there's gonna be a whole bunch of people that say the wimp, and obviously a bunch of people that are gonna say like, whatever the strongest unit is, like what's it called? The stun bus, or the legendary mammoth that could also stun the whole map. Or like, some people go for the obvious OP units like this guy or whatever. Or some people will talk about the mega tank, I imagine. I don't really know. Oh, I feel like this, like it. Let's see here. It unlocks at level 47, right? And then there's the super tank, which unlocks at level 32. It has virtually the same stats. Let's see. Well, less stats on this thing. But this thing is basically the same stats. And it's unlocked like 47 versus 32. That's 15 levels of difference. And 15 levels for a free-to-play equivalent of the super tank. And I don't know if it's even equivalent because those are expensive. Those are very expensive. And I think it might cost those to heal it also. As opposed to this, which I've heard only costs gears. Okay, so speaking of healing, still got a count of 7 dead mini tanks, 7 dead sandbags, 1 gun truck, 2 riot troopers, 4 grenadiers, 1 soldier, battle raptors, wimps, gunner, and flame trooper, as well as a single gunboat. And that will be calling it good for this one.